today. So every day we start fresh because we can't affect the past, but we damn sure can make a difference today.
Welcome back to another episode of Shop Talk. It's Jennifer, and just a little note, I'm flying solo today. Kari couldn't join me, but that's okay. This will still be a great episode. I'm talking about our Season 7 wish list just a couple days before Season 7 premieres. So yeah, we'll get right into it. There is some news. So we got episode descriptions for 701 and 702. 701 is titled The Shot, and the description is, now recovering from a gunshot wound and feeling the effects of his age, John and the team welcome 2 new rookies and continued the hunt for 2 dangerous inmates with very personal vendettas following their prison escape. And then 702 is called The Watcher. The team is tasked with community policing while hunting for a local vigilante. Meanwhile, Selena's instincts are tested, and Tim and Lucy discover secrets about the 2 new rookies. I cannot wait to see what 702 is about. I mean, I can't wait for 701, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a really good season. So then there were a couple of different interviews that were dropped ahead of the Season 7 premiere. So there was a couple of Entertainment Tonight interviews. Those are all over social media with Lisette, Eric, Nathan, Jenna, and Melissa. And I think we've shared a couple of them too, so... and then there was a Screen Rant article. There were a couple, but one in particular was talking about Aaron's exit, and Alexi had said that Aaron will already be gone when Season 7 opens. So, and then when asked if the door remains open for Aaron/True to return, Alexi had said, of course, we'd love to have him back in some capacity. It's just ultimately felt, we just ultimately felt like creatively, I can't even speak right now, for where the show was going, that we needed to pivot a bit. But he's still very much alive in our universe. So it seems like he's not going to be killed off, but we're also not going to get to see him one last time. So, and then there was a TV Line article that covered a lot. And Alexi spoke with Matt from TV Line. And so some of the just highlights that, I pulled from the article was, it's been a few weeks since the finale. So we aren't time jumping by like months. We're just time jumping by a few weeks. Which gives Nolan enough time to heal up from being shot. But, could he be taking more time? Yeah, but he's also worried about getting back out there and finding Jason because he's a threat to Bailey. And then going off of the police corruption scandal, it will have a ripple effect this season. Wesley will come in and kind of be part of that, and kind of serve as like the hall monitor, quote unquote, as they're calling him. The DA is making sure that everyone is flying right, only for Wesley to stumble across the tape. In Alexi's words, and it's something in the course of listening to officers talk in therapy that has a personal impact on him. And I wonder if this is where we're meeting that new detective, Ivan Hernandez's character. Like, I wonder, because, what else would he run into? But I would have to go back and look, like, did we find out any other cops that were on Blair's, roster of patients? And was it anyone that we knew? Like Angela, Nyla, I want to say that it was a couple, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then there was some news about the new rookies, and how did they arrive at Miles, aka Texas, and Seth, as quote unquote the virgin. And that was one of the questions in the TV guide, or in the TV Line out interview. And I feel like it would be a missed opportunity if they don't have Nyla give Miles the nickname of Texas. Like, I can just see her, and even Tim being like, Texas, like just calling him Texas, because I'm sure that he's got the Southern accent, and like, just kind of playing into that a little bit, because we know that Nyla likes the nickname. So But Alexei said that he thought it was super interesting to bring a rookie who isn't a rookie, even though he is in LA, he's been on the job for a couple of years. Um, and kind of see like how, you know, he's used to policing because, there's no uniformity in um, different police units. So to have a rookie who's already done 2 years in Texas and to see the difference in the policing community and ethos versus like what Tim has will be interesting. And I think it's really cool that we have Miles and Tim pairing up because they will give that push and pull dynamic. And then as far as Seth, in Alexi's words, he's a Boy Scout. His innocence and eagerness, but also a sort of like incompetence at time, falling down and like all that kind of stuff seemed really fun. So I'm sure that he'll almost be kind of another Selena as far as just kind of being like, very green and very eager to do the job, but also not really thinking of the repercussions of like, maybe I shouldn't do it this way, or, I should listen to my TO more. So, and it'll be really cool to see Lucy as his TO. Like we kind of already know that they're, the respective TOs. So it'll be interesting to see like how Lucy navigates that because she hasn't had to train anyone before really, like for an extensive period of time. So yeah, it'll be really cool to see that. And then the Chenford elevator scene was mentioned in the interview, and Alexi said that Tim does still have some work to do on himself. And we see a little bit of that this season, but at some point we do see him at a veteran support group. And he's still trying to do the work on himself, and he understands what he did wrong, but like now he's still trying to figure out the why. Um, so and why he's kind of punishing himself for his own failures. So that'll be interesting. I'm here for some backstory. Give me all of the character backstory before we met him in the pilot. Like I want to know more. Um, and then the villains in the wind, quote unquote, at the end of season 6 were asked about. And Alexi said that Jason will pose the biggest threat in the first half of the season. He's the existential threat because he's a threat to the family, as Alexi portrayed it, and Bailey especially. Which it'll be really interesting to see how like John gets involved with all that, right? Because like he knows some of Bailey's past with Jason, but not as much, I'm sure. And so Alexi said that they're also leaning into the trauma of Bailey's relationship with Jason, that maybe she hasn't processed yet. And then Alexi did share that Jenna will return in the end of episode 3, and that option story is still in play for Balin. So I feel like we're going to get a lot of Balin in the first half of the season, which, I mean, isn't a bad thing. And then we also have some notes on Selena's last day as a rookie, last 90 days as a rookie. So Alexi touched on that, and said that there are some challenges on her last day. She wants nothing more than just to hide under her desk for 12 hours. But Nolan feels very much like he needs to, in Alexi's words, go get in trouble. But I think, like, I can see it as Nolan's like, we should not be, like, sitting here just trying to, like, pass by on the last day, like, of her rookie period. And he just wants to distract himself, but Selena doesn't want that. So that'll be really interesting to see. And I wonder at what point in the season that will come. If that's going to be like a, like episode 5 thing, or if that's a mid-season type of thing. Like, because the rookie timeline does not really make any sense. So are we to assume that an episode is like one day for them? Like one shift? Sometimes it's been played out like that, but sometimes it's been played out where it's like, multiple shifts. So it'll be really interesting to see where that falls in the season, because they've never really had one like rookie and they're like finishing out their period, and then 2 more rookies start at like what we can only assume is the very beginning. So that'll be really interesting to see, because it's usually been like we watch all of Aaron's rookie period, and then like he graduates out of that, and we get Selena, or like the first three, but like we've never seen, someone who's still in their rookie period finishing out and two new guys coming in. So that'll be really cool. And going back to the new rookies, I love that we're getting to see two of them again. Like it's because the last few rookies, it's just been the one. So it'll be really cool to see two and the different dynamics that they have. And just kind of how they help each other go through it. Something else, a part of that TV line interview was Alexi saying like they were like repiloting almost the show because, they kind of wanted to like figure out what was next and like make it creatively different. So it'll be really cool to see like how the dynamics or, just kind of the situations might be a little similar to the OG3, but also a little bit different. So, and then also in the TV Line article, Matt asked what's ahead for Nyla and James, which is really interesting because given that preview that we saw, Nyla's going through it, okay, and James is like nowhere around in that preview. So, but Alexi said that there's drama. It's a big season for Harper and James, and she's gonna get pushed to the limits a bunch. Big emotions coming down the road. Yeah, I would say we see her and Angela crying. Nyla's like in a hospital gown and in a hospital bed, and then like another part of the promo, we see Wesley and Nyla sitting in what I assume is like a waiting room. And she's like crying or something, and Wesley's like, "You're in a tough spot," or whatever. Like, I need to know what's going on with Nyla and James first and foremost, because like what? And why is James not there? Like, it's so crazy, so crazy. So yeah, we'll see. And then just a little bit of news regarding the podcast. So we are coming back for the season 7 recaps. We will be resuming, the recaps, live tweeting, all of the things. But our schedule could be a little up in the air the first few weeks of the new season, just in terms of dropping new episodes or anything like that. It could be a little delayed. So we will also have some special co-hosts joining us on the podcast for the start of the season as well. But yeah, I mean, everything, as long as there's new episodes, we'll be here recapping them. So yeah, now we can jump right into the wish list. So I'll go through the season 6 finale recap first, because I know when I was filling this out, I needed a recap of where we left off, because it's been since May, like so long, almost 9 months. So yeah, so I needed a recap, and then I'll go through the wish list items that Kari and I both had for season 6, and kind of if they came true, like if they didn't. Yeah, it was real interesting to go back and look at all of this and be like, oh, yeah, so we did get that, but it wasn't what we had wanted. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And then I'll go through our season 7 wish list. Kari had dropped in some notes that she wants to see in season 7, and then I have some as well. So we'll start off with the season 6 finale recap. Where we left off with Monica and Blair was that Pearson was working with Blair and Monica. He disappears, and so that's the last time that we see him. We do find out that Monica and Blair have met, and like before they started working together, and how they've known each other for a while. And so then Monica went on a run after Blair flipped on her, and shared everything with Nolan. And so Nolan and Harper are working with the feds agents, Garza, Sensen, and Akers, and go to Monaco to crash Monica's meeting with a new ally. And then we see the rest of the team was stopping her enemies from an all-out shootout at the laundromat. And then we also see our prisoners escaping thanks to Oscar working with Monica. And we saw a lot of villains return in the season 6 finale. Monica, Oscar, Jason, Batista, A. Martinez. And while Blair's in custody with the police, Monica, Oscar, and Jason are all on the run. So that's where we leave off with the big storyline. And then the Chenford, I mean, we know that they broke up. Like, I feel like that just kind of is all that we need to say. But Lucy had went undercover to get more information on Batista and his plans, and then saved him during that epic truck chase scene. But before the truck chase scene, they were in the truck together, like undercover, talking about Tim's experience in therapy, flirting a little bit. Like, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to get through the tunnel first. And I feel like it's going to be a very long tunnel. So there was that. And then Lucy and Tim were in the elevator at the end. And there was some angst and tension, but, Tim, thanked Lucy for saving his life. So it'll be interesting to see where those two go. Because in the Entertainment Tonight interview, Melissa said that it's messy with them. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And then where we left off with Balin was, after going back and forth on whether they were going to have baby, which they should have talked about before they got married, but that's neither here nor there at this point. They are going to look into adopting. And then we had that phone call that John tells Bailey that Jason's escaped from prison. So that's where we left off with season 6. It was crazy, but yeah, so I'm excited to see where season 7 goes. And then some wish list items that we had from season 6. We've done this in the past where we've just kind of went through what we had in season 6 to kind of see what we should keep hoping for, or what kind of came true. So Kari had wanted to see more domestic scenes for Chenford. And we did get more domestic. It just not without the angst. So, and then we also had quick little Lopez and James and Nyla moments at the wedding too. So that was fun. And then Kari had wanted to see more Bratson, more Aaron and Angela scenes too, and Nyla and Aaron. We didn't really get those, but we did get Selena and Lucy moving in together, so that'll be fun. And I'm excited to see where that goes the start of season 7, especially because of the whole Chenford breakup. That her and Lucy and Selena are going to have some girl time, talking about that and everything, breaking it down. So, and then as far as the Balin wedding, Kari had said she would like to see it be at least a full 20 minutes. And we did get a little longer of the Balin wedding, technically. And it was in the 100th episode, so that was good. And then Kari had wanted to see more of, James and Wesley's romance. We did not get that. She also wanted to see Tamara scenes. And we did get Tamara scenes, but then Tamara ended up leaving us too. So that was not exactly what Kari meant, but we did get some Tamara scenes. And then as far as we wanted to see kind of more of the girls hanging out and then the guys hanging out. And so we did get the bachelor and bachelorette parties as a part of the 100th episode. So that was great. I know that's something that we both had wanted, so. And then Kari had wanted to see a couple of characters make a visit at some point. So it was Jenny Bradford, Lucy's parents, Angela's family, and then Henry Nolan was on her list. And Henry was at the Balin wedding. So out of all those people, we did just get Henry Nolan back, but that's okay. And then Kari had wanted to see Danielle Campbell's character have a scene with every one of the officers that need to talk about the season 5 happenings. And we did get Dr. Blair London have scenes with almost every main character in season 6. It was not in the same capacity of her sitting with them and listening to their problems, but it was interesting. And then we did Kari had wanted to see Chenford have an official I love you moment, and maybe approach some tough conversations. We didn't get the tough conversations, but we did get the Chenford I love you. So that was cool. And in the 100th episode, no less. So that was a huge episode. And then Kari had wanted, she said she knew she did not want to see no couples breaking up or in peril. And we had exactly that. We had the Chenford breakup. So yeah. Hopefully we don't have that in season 7. But it's been said that we go home with the characters a lot more. And judging by Nyla in the preview, I don't know. I don't want to think that something happens to James because we've seen him on set. But part of me is like, no. Like we don't need that. So yeah, we shall see in season 7. And then a couple of things that I wanted to see in season 6 was another Lucy undercover storyline, similar to the Nova one. When we got that in the season 6 finale. And then I also wanted to see Selena and Tamara in some way. I don't really know how I thought that was gonna go. But I figured like Lucy would be the tie between that. And we did not get any of that. Instead, we got Tamara moving out and Selena moving in. To like her room. So they like just missed each other. But I do hope, because we have seen Dylan back on set. Like they're done filming now, but like we've seen her on set before. So I do hope that we do have some Selena and Tamara scenes in season 7. And it would be cool to kind of even tie in like the how are you liking the apartment, or Selena talks about Tamara's room and she's like, I love the way you had it, or whatever. Like something like that. I will happily take that. And then I also had some Selena and Lucy scenes on my wish list. And we did get that in season 6, but we're going to get more of that in season 7. So, like, I'm not even worried because Selena's moving in. So, even if they don't have that scenes at the district, at the station, we'll have them, like, in the apartment. So, I win. Like, it's fine. Selena and Lucy sans win. And then I also wanted some scenes with, like, all the ladies, or even just some. And we got that in 602, and it was everything. So, that was perfect. I did also want another like meaty storyline with Aaron. And I did preface that I wasn't sure how much they could do in 10 episodes. Like, as long as they could just give us something to invest more in with Aaron, like that would be fine. And we did get a storyline with him and Blair. And like he kissed Selena. We was seeing Blair for therapy, like thought Blair had even liked him. So we did get some stuff, but it wasn't as much as like I was hoping, but that's okay. But also season 6 was last, so that's sad. But yeah, and then I did want to see some Chenford angst. We knew we were gonna get that lie detector scene, but I wanted more of the push and pull with them, and we did get it, and it was everything. We even got the I love you moment. But the angst also led to the breakup, and that was not what I wanted. But nevertheless, they're gonna push through this. So, and then I also wanted to see a Lucy and Kojo reunion, which we did get. We did get. He brought her Tim's birthday card, but Chenford had already broke up, so it was a sad moment. Like it wasn't like this happy moment. It was sad. It was happy because she got to see Kojo again, but it was sad. So yeah, but we did get that. And then I also wanted to see Selena proving herself more at work, testing different parts of police work, like undercover, stakeouts, all that, which will probably come after she graduates from her rookie period. Because that's how it's happened with everyone else. But we did see Selena and Nyla work together. She handled a big case with that dog who had ingested narcotics. Response to the call from Seth, got kidnapped. Like, the rest of the team saves her. Like, she did get in trouble in season 6 still, but I feel like she was still just proving herself. So it'll be really cool to see how she is in season 7. because we're gonna get to see like the tail end of her rookie period and like how she starts her P2 period. So and then I wanted to see Chenford flirting in front of others, because I wanted to see the level of roasting that they would get from Angela and Nyla. And they did flirt in front of Angela a little bit when they had to go get the ring back from the Hammer. But that was about it. And it makes me sad because who knows when they're going to get back together? Like, we don't know. But I do kind of want to see Angela and Nyla, at least Angela, like pushing for more information on the whole breakup and like trying to see like where they're at in terms of like getting back together and stuff. So that'll be interesting. And then I wanted to see Chenford progressing. Because they taken the big step in season 5, but like I wanted to keep it going. But no, they broke up instead. So yeah, they actually took a few steps back. But I mean, hey, we love good angst, so it's fine. And then I also wanted to learn more about Aaron's family and personal life. We didn't really get any more of this. We did find out that his family has an oasis of sorts that was used for the Balin wedding. It was just like a really nice venue. But he did come back to work and now he's gone. So yeah, we're never gonna know more, I'm sure. And then I did want to see more of like the Lopez, or yeah, just like more of the Lopez Jayla, like domestic kind of parent stuff. Like Lopez or even James and Nyla, like juggling the kids, like having to figure out who's going where, like who's taking the kids, whatever. We didn't really get any of that, but hopefully in season 7, because we know that we're going home with them more. So yeah, hopefully we get to see more of that. So and then I'll go over the season 7 wish list that Kari and I both have. So this one, I mean, we're doing 2 days before, we're going through it 2 days before season 7 and they're done filming. So like, it's already in there. But yeah, so I'll just go right into it. So Kari wants to see in season 7, Chenford back together, or at the very least, like in a working capacity, like pairing up a bit more. Maybe it's not even like they're back together, like hanging out in her apartment, but like at least they're working together. And we do kind of see that in the preview as far as like Chenford making like a little bet, doing a competition type of thing about their rookies. So we're going to get some of the banter back, hopefully. But Kari said the dream would be for them to get back romantically, which, yeah, I mean, hopefully by the end of season 7, I hope that it's not like a long drawn out slow burn again. But yeah, we'll see. And then Kari had said more Lopez and Jayla family moments. That's all. She prefaced that by saying lower angst, more happy things for the couples with the little kids. So yeah, I mean, it'll be really interesting. They did say, Sean and Alyssa did say in September at the convention that we do find out baby girl Lopez's name. So we do have that to look forward to. But in what kind of capacity that's going to come in, who knows? So, and then Kari also wants Balin's relationship to be stable again. I mean, they barely survived their honeymoon, and now the honeymoon's over and Jason's escaped with Oscar's help. Like, come on. What more can go wrong for those two? Which, I mean, they could never have, like, a legitimate date. That was no issues. So, but Kari said, I just want the Jason saga to be over with. No harm to them. Just done. Like, what else can they do with it? So, yeah. She also asked, what else haven't they told us about this plot line? Which, yeah, I kind of have the same question. Like, what else is there that we don't know? I mean, we know that it was an abusive relationship. We know that it was a mentally or emotionally and mentally bad for Bailey. But, like, is there more? Like, we need to know. We need to know. Is that why she has 7 different jobs or whatever it is? Like, maybe because she was having to, find stuff to get away from him. So, yeah, it'll be really cool. It'll be not cool, but it'll be interesting to see. And then Kari had said she loved the Luna moments from last season and she hopes that we get more of them. So, same. I loved that Luna was in season 6 more. And kind of made herself like a part of the group. I mean, just by joining the hospital staff. So, yeah, that was fun to see. And like, it's cool that we have characters that we see in different parts too, right? Like we have Bailey in the fire, we have Wesley in law, we have Luna in the hospital. Like, I like that we're able to get different perspectives too, and kind of rope in different characters in different ways. So Kari also said that she's excited to see the new rookies and how Chenford handles BNTOs. She's hopeful that them getting back to this type of format will lend itself to not have a carbon copy of previous rookies, since we've already seen Selena and Aaron. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it'll be more like the OG3, because one, we're getting 2 of them at the same time, and 2, we're getting, I mean, we've always had OG cast members as TOs, but like we're kind of seeing Lucy as a new TO. Like, it's not like we're getting Angela and Tim back as TOs. Like, we're getting someone who started out as a rookie at this station with these people, and we're getting her as the TO, so she can kind of lend some advice and mentorship to Seth, because she's worked with these people for so long and she started out in the same position as he is. But then, it'll be interesting to see how she deals with it, because again, she's been around these people. Like, they've uncovered her from a barrel. Like, they've dug her out of ground and she was in a barrel. Like, they've seen her at her literal worst. So it'll be interesting to see how they react with her being a TO after knowing that she's wanted to become a detective and stuff. So it'll be really cool to like see how the dynamic is played out with Lucy being a TO, but then also see how her and Seth kind of bond or work together, because she does have that history at the district. I mean, and arguably like Tim did too when he was a TO for Lucy. Like, we knew that he had been there for a while, but we didn't know if he wasn't a rookie at that station. Like, we don't know that. Whereas Lucy, we've seen her like come up through the ranks. So yeah, it'll be really interesting. And then Kari also said, speaking of Aaron, I know we might not get a major wrap up, but please, no tragic ending for his character. I agree. And that Screen Rant article did kind of help as far as knowing or hinting that he won't be killed off. So, hopefully we, don't have to worry. But Kari also said definitely would like a Selena and Aaron friendship goodbye / closure moment for them too, if possible. I hope so too. I could also see it as there's a line or two that's said about Aaron, but it comes from Selena, because I feel like she would be one that stays in contact with him. Like I don't, the only other person I could see it coming from would be like Gray or maybe even Lucy. But I feel like if it was to come from anyone, it needs to be Selena. And like maybe she's, talking to John in the shop, or even Lucy in the apartment, and is like, yeah, I just talked to Aaron. Like, he's doing great over at the other station. Like, whatever that is, I hope that we do get some kind of, mention of him. And I kind of hope that comes from Selena. And then Kari also said more Lucy and Selena moments, and then more Angela and Nyla mom and or detective moments, which, yes, I hope that too. And Kari also said more Wesley and James moments. Yeah, especially if we're going home with them more. I would just love to see like the couples together, like Lopez and Jayla. Like, why not? And then Kari also said more. She wants more than a 2-second explanation of Gray's lieutenant promotion, please. And she also wonders if Lucy ever wonders about doing UC work. Again, like, can she go for the detective exam again? Like, can we get more of an explanation on that? Which I do agree about the Gray promotion, especially because they've shared that on social media already. Like, it's not really a huge storyline that like they're keeping from us. Like, it's been shared. So can we just get that? Like, can we have a moment where he celebrates it or they celebrate him, like something? Um and then Kari is also very interested to see what happens for Nyla and Wesley, like the comfort scene in the preview. I think we're all curious about that at this point. Like, yes, I focus in on the new rookies. I focus in on the Balin stuff and the Chenford stuff. But like what really got me was the whole like Nyla and Wesley and then like Nyla and Angela thing. Like, I love that they're there for her, but like where's James? Cuz like she looks upset and her husband's not there. So what's going on? That is my biggest question. And I know that's not going to happen in episode 1. I mean, I guess it could, cuz that preview looks like it's over the course of a couple episodes. Um but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out on Tuesday if it's in the episode. Um, and then Kari also wants to see Pete Nolan making a comeback for, a holiday episode, whether it's Halloween, Valentine's Day, like whatever. I do too, because we've not had him in a couple of seasons. No, I guess just one, season 6, which was a shorter season anyway. But yeah, can we have more Pete Nolan, please? I would love to see that, especially with Bailey and Nolan married. It would be really interesting to see how Pete is with that. I mean, I'm okay waiting until after all the Jason stuff is over because Pete does not need to get involved with that. But also knowing Pete Nolan, he would. So yeah. And then Kari also wants to see more Smitty scenes throughout season 7, which, yeah, we always need Smitty. I mean, he's comic relief. So, and then I also had some things that I want to see in season 7, which, funny enough, my first thing on the list was a Pete Nolan return, which might have been carried over from my season 6 wish list. But I want to see him interacting with Smitty or Selena or even the new rookies. Like, at this point, I'm not even picky. Just give me Pete Nolan back for like an episode, even for 20 minutes. I don't really care. And then I also have more of the rookie period situations like we saw with the original 3, since we're getting 2 new rookies, which we know that Selena gets a plainclothes day, but like it'll be too early in their rookie period for that. But I wonder if they would be like, well, since Selena's doing it, let's just throw it in with theirs. Um, so yeah, that would be interesting. I would love to see the switch. Like, and I think they've hinted at this on social media in in a couple of Instagram stories and TikToks of like the TOs switching, with the rookies. Like we had in season 1 or like with the OG3. Um, I would just like to see that. And then like some of the other situations like the stakeout and the night shift or whatever. Like, I know that we did that with the OG3 already, so it'd be like replicated, but I mean, I would just like to see it happen again, especially with these new rookies, and then also having Lucy be the first time TO. Um, Also, like, is there some type of training or classes that Lucy has to do to become a TO? I think so, because I feel like John had to. And we know that like when she was training Selena for that day, like Gray bestowed that upon her. So can we get some of that, or are we just assuming that Lucy already has that? Like, I don't know. Is that that's got to be in the white space. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it's all explained, or if it's just kind of, yeah, she's the TO now. Um, And then I want to see a bromance between the new rookies. Especially because in 702, they're supposedly having a secret, or Lucy and Tim are finding out secrets about the new rookies. I mean, I don't really care what the secrets are. We do see Miles hugging someone in the preview. So, like, who is that? It would be so interesting to find out what their secrets are. And also I would just like to see a little bromance between them, because why not? Like, they're in the same, I would almost want it to be like the Jackson and Lucy friendship. Like, they can joke around, have a good time, but like they know when to be serious. And then I also want to see Nyla and Angela working with the new rookies and bringing their TO side back a little bit, which we do see. I just saw a social media video today with Makia in the polyester uniform. So we do see that. We've also seen them in their like black t-shirts that they've used for like training, or like that one promotional video or whatever. So, I would like to kind of see that come back. I don't know like in what capacity Nyla and Angela would come back to be TOs, because there's so much the detective side now. We did see Nyla like work with Selena last season, and she was the TO, or like she had put the uniform back on, or wasn't going to, or something. So I would like to kind of see that, but like in order to see both of them, Tim and Lucy have to be doing something else, because like they wouldn't be there. And then I also want to see a good send off for Aaron. And we know that Wesley is going to have that personal obstacle of some sort with Detective Graham. But this might be me like reaching. I want to know if there's a history with Angela there, and what Nyla thinks of all of that, because we know that Angela and Detective Carradine were having some issues when she first became a detective. But like, does Detective Graham have some kind of beef or history or something with Angela? And that's got to be the obstacle, right? Like, because it's not, I mean, unless Wesley like is buddies with some other detectives, like who would it be? It's got to be Angela or Nyla or both of them. So yeah. And then Grace promotion, I have that too. Can we just get a decent chunk of time around that? Like, what does Luna think about that? What does that mean for the other officers? Tim like went back down from sergeant. I mean, he's TO now. So, does he get bumped back up to sergeant at some point? Like, what does that mean for others? Are they going to find another sergeant? Are they going to have to promote someone, or is someone going to come in and, shake things up a little bit? So, yeah, that'll be interesting. And then I also have the new rookies interacting with Selena, which we do see in a couple of promo shots for 701. So I'm really curious to see the dynamic between them, because, like I said earlier, like Selena is still a rookie. So, like she can kind of give tips, tricks, whatever, like, because she's worked with like Lucy as a TO. She's worked with Tim as a TO. And she also knows them like personally now. So it would be really cool to like see them interact. And also see like, I'm sure that Selena's gonna be like warm and welcoming to them. But, is she gonna be like taking them under her wing, or is she gonna be like, no, you guys have to learn just like I did? Like, it'll be really interesting to see that. And then I also have Selena and Lucy and their roommate era, which, I mean, we're gonna get that. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I'm literally on the edge of my seat waiting for that. And then I want to see Smitty and the new rookies interacting, because I just want to know what kind of BS he tells them, especially about Tim as a TO, because we got Smitty in like season 1, I feel like, but I feel like we didn't really get him interacting a whole lot with the rookies. And knowing now more of Smitty, I want to see him with the rookies, like especially because they're guys and there's two of them and they're TOs. Like, and the situation between Lucy and Tim. Like, I just know Smitty would be like, yeah, you're two TOs. Like, they dated. And now they're, like, broken up. Like, I just know that he would, like, spill the beans. And and the rookies would be like, wait, what? Because there is one promo shot where Miles Penn is, like, walking away. And kind of, like, looking at Tim and Lucy. Like, he's, like, in front of them. And he's just kind of looking. And so, yeah, so I just want to see what kind of BS Smitty tells them and, like, what Smitty does, because you just know it's out of pocket or just it's Smitty. And then I know that we're following the officers home, tackling some of that, but I need more storylines based around the families and, like, moments other than Balin. There, I said it. Like, yes, I know that we're going to get Balin. I know that it's going to be more dramatic for Nyla, but, like, I need it, like, kind of equally spaced out between them. Yeah, I don't just want it to be Balin. Like, I like them, they're fine, but I need it to be others too. And then I also want to see Chenford reconciliation somehow, or at least baby steps to it. I mean, don't we all? Like, we all want to see that. I'd even like to see Nyla and Angela give their 2 cents on it. Like, you know that those two have some thoughts on it. It would even be funny to, like, because I also have on here another documentary episode. It would even be funny to kind of see, like, I don't know, in some way, like, an interview of sorts. And people are like, so has anyone ever dated in this station? And, you know, everyone's like, oh, have you heard about Tim and Lucy? And, you know, like, Angela's like, I always knew those two were meant for each other. And then I was like, listen, I like them, but those two, they're messy. And Selena's like, I stand by my girl, Lucy, you know, like, just stuff like that. Like, that would be so funny to see, like, everyone kind of giving their 2 cents, because I just know Gray would be like, listen, I told him not to do that, or, you know, like, I don't condone it, like, stuff like that. That would be really funny to see. And it could even be just, like, part of the cold open. Like, any part of that would be fun. And then I also have it, we got it last season, but another girls' night / guys' night in some way. Like, I don't even need it to include everyone. I just want a couple of people. I would love for it to be everyone, but I know that's not always possible. So, but yeah, that's our wish list for season 7. Thanks for sticking with me, because it was just me, and, you know, things are happening. Yeah, I'm kind of falling apart, and, like, season 7 is starting. I'm like, okay, this could have happened months ago, but whatever. We're here. We're thriving. So yeah, you can find us on Twitter at the @shoptalkpod_, or email us at shoptalktherookiepodcast@gmail.com with all of your thoughts. You can find us individually on Twitter as well. I'm at jsarcade04, and Kari is at Kari Hyman. We're also on TikTok at the @shoptalkpodcast_. We're also on Blue Sky. Haven't done much with that. So if you're on there and want to follow us, you can find us at the shoptalkpod.bsky, their handle. So yeah, make sure you follow us there. I did release the season 7 squad goal shirt designs. You can get them on stickers, mugs, hoodies, t-shirts, notebooks, whatever you want. I did release that on Sunday when I'm recording this, so that's fun. There's more more designs swirling around in my head. Just haven't gotten to them yet. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at going into season 7. Like I said before, you know, normal schedule. We're gonna have recap episodes. I'm hoping every Thursday. But you know, I mean, it just kind of depends. So we'll be sure to keep you guys updated on our Twitter page. And then I'm also going to hope to post some, updates to Blue Sky too. But yeah, we'll be here. We'll be enjoying the shows. We'll be live tweeting, DM us, email us if you have any thoughts, want to share your thoughts about the episodes, want to just talk, we're around. So yeah, until then, we'll be back this week with another episode. You get 2 episodes this week of Shop Talk, which is exciting and fun. And yeah, I can't believe that we're back to a new season and that we have like almost 18 episodes straight. Like, I think there's talk about there being a 1-week break somewhere. But I don't think it's been like officially stated or anything. Like, we don't have all of the episode descriptions yet and the dates. So, yeah, so it's kind of hard to say. But, we're back for 18 episodes. Like, this is going to be a wild ride. So, yeah, everyone buckle up, grab your snacks, and let's enjoy the show. Bye, everyone.
Go get 'em, boo.